most helpful book ever published will teach everyone how nature creates people's personalities, including analyses associated with personality. What is the meaning of analyses? Well, fortunately, these are the natural occurring trends, tendencies observed in all of people's personalities which repeat and are profoundly noticed in the science of personality. These are permanent, natural occurring, trends, tendencies which show up causing distinction in people. While only observed, they will never vanish. These observed analyses, trends, tendencies, which anyone can observe for himself or herself, occurs most often enough to consider them reliable trends. The most helpful book ever published will identify this concept for you throughout the chapters, even explaining how to conduct a simple survey analyses of people from the simple references of charts and tables easily used to quickly and accurately analyze people's personalities, so you will be able to predict how a person is most likely to function in their life and the odds of success you are most likely to experience with them. So what does these analyses, trends, tendencies mean? Their meaning can be broken down and labeled into what is called a learn and adopt analyses. So you see, analyses, trends, tendencies really means the natural trends labeled as a learn and adopt analyses. These are the natural occurring trends, tendencies, or is one of nature's trends observed in people's personalities that repeats and is profoundly noticed in personality. You see, rather than boldly listing these natural trends, tendencies which may be too boring to comprehend, they are instead placed into real situations to make them come to life and appear more interesting, and are labeled as a learn and adopt analyses. For example, here is a learn and adopt analysis pertaining to doer type people in the most helpful book ever published. The book says you receive great satisfaction by doing, you are a doer, and more than anyone else. You see, this is more interesting rather than simply listing this observed natural trend as a doer. By adding a real-life situation to the natural trend being presented, comprehension will be more appealing and easier to understand. So these natural trends labeled and presented as learn and adopt analyses are permanent, natural occurring, tendencies which show up causing happiness or hardship in life, and while they can only be observed, they will never vanish. From this very special tip, remember this, there is one observation that was found for sure: no matter whom you are, everyone must realize that the analyses, trends, tendencies are really the breakdowns of observations in nature and labeled as a learn and adopt analyses showing up in people's personalities, which repeat and are profoundly noticed in everyone. This is a reality in life that nobody can escape. The most helpful book ever published will help everyone to recognize and identify these learn and adopt analyses lingering among people's personalities, and the simple methods used to conduct the means to evaluate personalities. This will result in a better understanding of people. Yes, indeed, these analyses, trends, tendencies broken down into learn and adopt analyses exist. However, if you observe everyone more closely, even through the generations, you will notice many learn and adopt analyses reoccurring in a trend tendency pattern belonging to a certain personality group, never going away but generated by nature among the different personalities, and is very special to bring us all fulfillment in life. So how can this great work of literature help everyone to learn more about people's personalities? The core or body of this exciting material contains 8 chapters which describe and uncover the unique ways of how nature shapes us in a special way that improves your comprehension of understanding personalities to the point that you really can read people like a book, and in a way like never before. This means you will understand why people act and behave the way they do with their unique habits, all shaped by nature. You will learn about nature's personality factory that creates personality similar to how an auto factory creates cars. 10 years went into writing this informative material. The official copyright was established and recorded in the United States in the year 2022. This is a very rare original work that can't be found anywhere else. The most helpful book ever published sets an example with the goal and desire to present a great work of quality material in a newly discovered science from the publishing industry to help others gain better health, wealth, and knowledge for a terrific future. This is a rare work that can't be found anywhere else. If you have a hobby or are a professional book collector or are thinking about starting a book collection, you can add value to your collection by collecting this first signature edition offered here. You don't have to read the whole book ever because you will only be reading the sections which pertain to you, as this will be explained with very easy comprehension to see that you won't be reading with much labor at all with mostly short readings. You only read what you need. This rare work of literature was written with the following strict guidelines which were more difficult than any doctor program at any university. First, it must be a new scientific discovery that no mind has ever touched. Second, it must be non-fiction. Third, it must receive an official registration of copyright by the United States government. This book is certainly very informative, and you will learn fascinating concepts to understand people better. This means no more struggling in your life trying to guess what you are good at, who your best companion is, or what career you're cut out for. The entire book is designed for easy comprehension and is very simple. In fact, you won't be reading this material with much labor at all with mostly short readings. Add the most helpful book ever published to your collection now. The entire book is designed for easy comprehension and is very simple. In fact, you won't be reading this material with much labor at all with mostly short readings. Add the most helpful book ever published to your collection now. P.S. Thomas W. Anti searches on Google and Yahoo quickly finds you, the most helpful book ever published.